Hello, Taurus, and welcome to your December 2020 tarot card reading. This is a 5-card tarot card overall energy reading for the month of December. I'm doing it a little different this month for December. It'll only be 1 month. It is a general reading for the larger collective of all Tauruses and is intended for informational purposes. The information may not resonate with every Taurus, of course, and that's totally okay. Take what fits and let the rest go. To save time, I already shuffled the cards and requested the universal guidance, and the cards were selected were ejected on their own during the shuffle. The 5 cards that were exited here during the shuffle for this overall energy reading are lined up here. This first card here represents the overall energy for your past influences. These are past energies within the last few months, significant energies for the overall collective of Taurus, and in some cases that energy may have resolved itself during that past influence in the past few months, and or it could still be lingering into your present. The second card here represents the current overall energy for your present energy during this month of December. The third card here represents the overall energy for your future energies during this time frame for the month of December, things that are on the cusp or around the corner. The fourth card here represents the overall energy for any challenges that may come up during this time period for the month of December. And the fifth card here represents the overall energy for your outcomes. Excuse me. So, Tauruses, thank you very much for coming on this channel. And real quickly, I want to repeat for the sake of it, because it's vitally important for channels, is if you would please click what I call the high 3, and that is the click the like button for the like the video. Please click subscribe to this channel, and please click the notifications bell. Those are all very important algorithms in order for YouTube to support channels and to market them basically to a wider audience. I'm a new channel, so I'm struggling, and they don't really look at you until you get subscribers and all those 3 algorithms before YouTube starts marketing you to larger groups. So I would appreciate your support if you find it in your heart. To do so, you will not be bombarded with all kinds of junk or anything else. You basically just notice little numbers on your YouTube page that sort of shows you little numbers that pop up, and that just shows you what new things were posted for whoever you're subscribing to. But it's not obtrusive at all. So please don't worry about that. But I would appreciate your support. So with that, and by the way, I also want to say real quickly, hope everyone's having a hope everyone had a happy Thanksgiving and is getting prepared for the holidays with the new COVID lockdowns that were announced today. Hopefully we'll get through all this, and hope everybody remains safe. I just want to say that nice message to you, and trust the universe no matter what your circumstances are. So getting started here with our past influences, we have the Tower. Now this is a major arcana card for you, Taurus. Angel and Spirit Guides, please help us understand why the Tower card is represented here for Taurus for the overall collective energy of the past influences. Well, for many Tauruses I'm picking up, just when you sort of thought you were safe and comfortable at some point in the past few months, you were hit a Tower moment. And when you're hit a Tower moment, typically it comes from the universe, it's going to throw you for a major loop. For many, it can be in the form of what could be considered a jolt of clarity and insight that typically will cut through, a pile of lies and delusions that in most cases you may have been telling yourself, that now sort of the truth comes to light for you. And for some of you, your world may have come crashing down because it wasn't what you had imagined or you wished it would have been. And I think for many of you, you never imagined that it was going to happen or could have happened. However, what I'm picking up here, Taurus, is that for many Tauruses in this energy, in this past energy, that you were building your life sort of on an unstable foundation, and you were building it on false assumptions and mistruths. Typically, they were illusions. They could have been blatant lies, and so on. And then, and the reality is, and for many, everything that you thought was true, really has got turned on its head. And many of you began questioning what was real and what's not. And who can you trust and not trust? And this can be very strenuous for many, um, and all experience all kinds of emotion is what I'm picking up from many. When the Tower card appears here, especially Taurus is in your past energy in the past few months, which could be anytime in the last few months. This card is telling me that many Taurus has sort of experienced an upheaval, and it was like this tower here where it was destruction, and everything came pretty much to a stop or crashing down. And it could have been, from a variety of issues. It could have been a death of a loved one. It could have been a financial challenge. It could have been health problems. It could have been something from a natural disaster. It could have been from COVID-19, job loss. Whatever the major challenge was, it shook you to your core, and it affected many Tauruses spiritually and physically and mentally. And the reality of this is that there was no escaping it, Taurus. And if you're familiar with the Tower card, you have a basic understanding that when the Tower card hits, it's the universe's way of telling you to listen up. It's because the universe is here to sort of, sometimes literally and figuratively tear things up, create chaos, and destroy everything in its path. But what you have to understand, Taurus, is that from the universe's perspective, the reason it's happening is it is for your highest good, and that is what you need to remember. I'm also picking up, but for many Tauruses, that if you were able to put it in perspective, the best way for Tauruses to get through this was to allow yourself to self-destruct, so that you can rebuild and refocus on yourself. And it's critical to understand, Taurus, is that the Tower, you had no choice but to surrender to the destruction and the chaos. And no matter how much you did not want to, or how painful it was, this was a change. This was to initiate a change on a deepest level that was going to be very hard for you. But what you have to understand, Taurus, is that this hardcore shakeup, you need to trust that it's happening for you, and for you for a reason. The destruction that surrounded and things that tore apart for many Tauruses, whether it could have been a relationship, it could have been a job, it could be anything that basically just fell apart. This was allowed, or this came about basically with the message for you, Tauruses, to start a new growth and to emerge so your soul can evolve. You needed to change pattern. Whatever you were doing was not working for the universe. And the trick here, Tauruses, if you are still feeling that destruction, is to understand with this card is that as you experience a Tower experience, you will grow stronger, and you will be wiser, and you will be more resilient as you develop this sort of new perspective on life that you didn't know even existed. This Tower moments, this change is about necessary. It's movement, and it's needed because of your spiritual growth and enlightenment, and it's needed, to really face truth and honesty. And the ultimate goal of these Tower changes is to bring about a positive change. Even if you don't feel like it, the universe is watching over you, and the universe had to step in other words. So even if you experience pain and anxiety throughout this process, you have to understand that was a part of the process. It was to get your attention because you needed to change. You also have to keep in mind too that for some Tauruses, the Tower doesn't always associate with pain and turmoil. It's known what it's known for. But if you're an individual who's highly aware and in tune with your inner guidance system, then with this tarot card and your past influences, for those who were already aware and attuned, this was really more of a spiritual awakening and revelation. And you if you were aware and you were taking action, you were able to sort of fill the cracks before everything fell down. You were able to take the necessary steps before the whole thing came crumbling down. It gave you that opportunity because you had the vision. So again, the tower is about creating a massive transformation, and it's critical before you reach a point of any sort of change that you're wanting or needing. A Taurus, understand that in the positive form, the Tower card is an opportunity to break free from old ways of thinking that have been holding you back. And that's the critical message of this being in your past influences. Now, if some Tauruses did not fully experience this or put closure to this, it's probably most likely going to be lingering still. Which then leads us to your present energy. And here we have the Princess of Swords, and other tarot cards it's known as the Page of Swords, but in this one they call it the Princess of Swords. Angel and Spirit Guides, please help us understand why the Page or Princess of Swords is in Taurus's present energy reading for the month of December, please. Well, I'm picking up here for many Taurans, the overall collective, that the Page here, the Prince of Swords, is emerging in your present energy because many of you are exploring a new way of thinking, whether it be a new perspective, new knowledge, a new idea, a new technique, perhaps even a new way of coping, even a new way of understanding. Something is triggered for many Tauruses that it's bringing out this curious mind, and there's a thirst for knowledge, and you're wanting to find a fresh way of thinking. With this sort of message here that the Page brings, or this Page of Swords brings here, in the pages in the tarot cards are basically messenger cards. They bring messages with different themes. In this particular case for many Taurans, this is about exploring that fresh side of thinking and getting you to ask questions, a lot of questions, even reformulating your questions with questions. Because you're trying to get down to what the nitty-gritty is. What is it that is really occurring, and what is it that you really need to do? So in order to do this, some of you may have already been asking yourself or finding yourself or thinking about certain questions. And these, could be, this is really about the exploratory phase. You're not in a mastery phase. These questions are about exploring what it is that you want more information with, and bringing about the questions that will bring a better understanding. For many Tauruses, I'm picking up here with this card here, is that you may be prone to making mistakes along the way, because you're curious about what, and you're eager about. Finally, I'm picking up many of you, after being stubborn and holding the ground for whatever reason, many of you are starting to see that you do need to change, and you need to ask the right questions, and you need to explore new ways. And you are curious that you're eager to learn, and particularly now of mistakes that you've made, because that's the trick. It's okay to make mistakes. You need to learn from them. In the tarot cards, the pages are the prince in this particular tarot deck. They're typically full of energy and enthusiasm and passion. With this showing up here in your present energy for the month of December, Taurus, you're bursting within a lot of ideas and plans for your future, and I'm picking up that many of you are particularly excited about starting in something that's new. And this could be a new relationship, a new change, a new home, a new job, something that's just new, that is giving you sort of a new inspiration, a revived inspiration than what you've been coming from. And I'm picking up that for those of you who are in this state of mind, you're feeling excited about it, even if you don't know what it is. The challenge for Taurusans in this case, in this present energy, is that whether you can keep up with it all. because as with most pages in the tarot cards, the pages here is asking you to, is bringing the message, is bringing the message for to you that things look promising down the line. However, the things that are promising down the line are not going to be free. You're going to have to work for them. I'm also picking up that, with the Page of Swords here in your present reading, that for many of you, you're again exploring, the key energy here is that you're exploring different ways of expressing yourself. And this includes with others, and including communicating your ideas and opinions. And this could be done through a podcast, through social media, anything like that. But this is really more a personal level, is what I'm picking up for many Tauruses in this energy. I'm picking up many Tauruses, you are a natural communicator if you actually use those tools, but you need to use them. So, the spirit guides are asking me to make sure that you understand, Taurus, that you're in an exploratory phase now. You're not in a resolving or outcome phase with this issue and this sort of communication. This is something that you're realizing you need to do or need to do better, but you haven't achieved it yet. So this is a beginning of something that you're going to be working on. Also, in many cases, and for many Tauruses, I'm picking up that the Page of Swords here, or the Prince of Swords here, in your present energy reading, it represents, your relationship with the person who's exploring their own ability to communicate, or share ideas, or gather information. For many Tauruses, you may have your moments with this page, as the swords often, express a level of tension and conflict, and it sometimes gets bundled up in a explosive energy that in some cases may prove too much to handle and can be actually more devastating and more conflicting and non-suited. In fact, in many cases, you may even find yourself you need a break from this person that you're involved with, because there's too much of a high level of tension and conflict. I'm picking up too that because of this sort of knowledge to change and this self-knowledge, that some Tauruses, there's a bundle, you've got this sort of bundle of energy that again it may seem overwhelming for many of you, but this is basically saying is do not be overwhelmed. This is good, just much like your Tower experience was in the past few months and your past influences. This is a needed change and will have benefits down the line. Also keep in mind that Page of Swords represents relationships, that you're trying to, for those in a relationship, it represents that you're trying different ways to communicate, so that you're not found in sort of feeling trapped or blocked. The pages here basically are encouraging you, Taurus, to move ahead and get your wheels in motion despite any challenges or setbacks that you might have had the way. You need to continue to move forward. When it comes to interpersonal relationships, this is representing, the person that if those of you who are in some sort of relationship or a key person, the Page of Swords here in your present energy is asking you to explore your ability to communicate and share ideas and gather information. In some cases, you may be able to communicate and hold your own, but in other cases, it may not. And this is asking you to evaluate that relationship. Is it in your best interest or your best good? The Page of Swords also can be here to, bring in and allow the opportunity to express, tension and conflict, and that's sometimes may be too difficult for you to handle. So, anyway, this message here is encouraging you, Tauruses, in your present energy, that to stay open and be enthusiastic and to learn more about yourself in this process in order for you to make positive changes. And our third card here, we have our future, excuse me, our future energies, and we happen to have the Star card. This is again a major arcana card. However, the Star card for Tauruses in your future energy for the month of December is in reverse. Angel Spirit Guides, please help us understand why the Star card is in reverse for our Taurus for the month of December, please. Well, for many Tauruses, the month of December, you're welcoming, sort of a reprieve of tension and sometimes even the emotional destruction and turmoil that with it. For those who are in a relationship, I'm picking up this is more with a person who's in a relationship that was very dysfunctional. I can't describe it. Taurus, you may feel that you have endured, many different sort of challenges, and that you were stripped bare, yourself, in order to limit, limit your beliefs, which, because those are the things that tend to hold you back, is the things that you know. However, keep in mind, and everybody knows that life sometimes, no matter how you prepare for it, is going to throw you some lemons, basically. And you're not always going to be connected to the divine and pure loving energy. So I'm picking up for now, after months of sort of a dysfunctional and destructive sort of interpersonal relationship you've had with somebody, you've made progress, but you stalled. I'm picking up for many Tauruses, you're trying to break away from this negativity. However, that was your intention, but I'm picking up more recently that you're adding to the tension, you're playing into the tension, and in some cases you're initiating the tension. You're hanging on. And the Star here in your reverse position is basically, going to ask you to sort of, take assessment, because you're feeling that you've lost hope in the universe, and you're feeling overwhelmed by life's challenges right now, and many of you are questioning why you were being put through this. But again, as we said, you know in your heart and in your mind that life can throw you curveballs. So what the trick of here is that it's not always asking why, it's to anticipate them and to understand them, and that they're there for a reason. Just like the Tower card was there, the universe stepped in to make a major change to disrupt your routine, because you had a routine that wasn't working for you or for your best good, Taurus. The Star here in your present or your future energy also tends to represent a test of faith. This is about being confronted with challenging situations, probably a lot of challenging situations, and how you handle them. And in many cases you might be feeling overwhelmed over them, and perhaps you're questioning why you're being put through this. More importantly, why here, why now is a bigger question that I'm picking up. For some of you, may be desperately calling out to the universe, to give you some reprieve, but you're struggling to see how that divine energy is going to be on your side. And with this card here, basically in reverse, is asking you, Taurus, to stop, take a breath, open up, take a deep breath, get in a mindset of relaxation. Get in a mindset as if you're going to do a mantra or a positive thinking, just like laws of attraction. You need to be in a positive state. Because if you do such, when you look harder, you will see it. The divine is always there, Taurus, watching over you. So, Taurus, Taurus, Taurus. I'm picking up here too, Taurus, that the star in reverse shows that many of you are disengaged and you're feeling uninspired. Um, you're feeling a loss and overwhelmed is a bigger picture. I'm picking up that in your past influences, whatever, particularly this relationship, many of you started out, with enthusiasm and excitement, but you're now finding yourself overwhelmed by the day-to-day routines, and you're finding them boring and dreary, because this relationship has become boring and dreary, whatever this relationship is. Mhm. So when you're feeling this right now, this message is for you, Taurus, is that it's important that you can reconnect to what is truly important to you, and what's important to your soul purposes in this lifetime. Align your daily self with this purpose, and you will find new sources of inspiration. The reverse, star here, Taurus, is encouraging you to take your time, and the importance of self-care. The reverse star also, is reminding you to take care of yourself, because you're needing a deeper level of nourishment and self-care, and a deeper level um, of spiritual guidance, whatever spiritual guidance is for you. Many of you Tauruses right now are I'm picking up, are using up your energy reserves. So this is important for you right now, and as they say, stop and smell the roses. This is take things a day at a time. This is take things within the ability that you can handle them, within your means that you have. But it's also important for you to take time to reconnect with yourself, and that is either book a massage, or take a walk, or do something that's that breaks up your day, so that you have that clear thinking when you return to it, because that's critical. And also, if you can reconnect with your daily and spiritual self. And you done it, fill up. Okay, so that's our future energies. Now, Taurus, we have our excuse me, we have our challenging energies, our fourth card, and we have the Ten of Cups, but we have the Ten of Cups in reverse here, Taurus. So, angel and spirit guides, please help us understand why the Ten of Cups is in reverse for Tauruses for the month of December, and their challenges energies, please. Okay, well, Taurus, when the reverse Ten of Cups is appearing here, and this is now in your challenging, or your challenges energies for the month of December. The message that's coming out of this is that I'm picking up that many of you are sort of seeking a greater harmony, and you're wanting to connect with your relationships, because you've been feeling disconnected. Yeah, I'm feeling strong energies that many Tauruses have been feeling a deep disconnected, and just even disengaged from a person that you were significantly involved with. I'm picking up that, for many of you, in your mind, you had wished for a beautiful and sort of a harmonious relationship. That's what you wanted when it started. But, right now in reality, you're feeling disconnected from it, and you're feeling disengaged from this person. And, it's almost as if you feel something's missing, and you're struggling to communicate I hope, in an honest way, that you're trying to empathize and trying. I'm picking up to engage, but I'm picking up that it's just falling apart every time you make the effort. And I'm picking up, Taurus, it's sometimes that, at least recently, I'm picking up here with this card and this energy, is that, Taurus, you're the one who's initiating arguments and fights, because you're not happy with something. And in some cases, you may have unrealistic expectations, is what I'm picking up here from the universe, Taurus, and you may want to look at that. Not every relationship is perfect, and not every relationship is going to have everything, but you have to do your part in order for any relationship to work. So, this, you may have these again, and these unrealistic expectations of this relationship. You know, again, not everything is perfect and rosy, or they can be 1 minute, but you know, the next minute is just negativity and anger and frustration and damage and hurtful words and stuff. That seems to be this pattern that's been going on. I'm picking up for several months and has exacerbated. So, you know, this tower that's been happening, this thing coming down, I'm picking up for many, it has to do with this relationship. And this relationship you're hanging on to, although you know it's not going anywhere and it's just destructive. And the universe has did step in here to bring about change, but you have been resisting this change. Because I'm picking up, you're still seeing this person even though it's not going any better. So your challenge here, Taurus, is that you may have to come to the realization that you are no longer fit for each other. In which case, you may need to consider leaving before it gets any worse. So, the Ten of Cups here in your challenges is, you know, encouraging you to seek out a common ground with your loved one or this person that's closest to you, whether it's a friend or a significant other. It's encouraging you, Taurus, to see this other person as a divine being worthy of your love and equally. See yourself as the divine worthy being worthy of theirs. Love and be loved. It's important that you open the lines of communication and you be ready to hold a space for one another so that you can reconnect on a deeper and more loving level. Be more compassionate and understanding and respectful and seek harmony with one another. I'm also picking up here that the reverse Ten of Cups here for many Taurus is presenting this energy in your challenges that you're contemplating if this relationship, what this relationship means to you. So, and does it require your attention or need your attention, or are you even interested in it because it's not what you thought it would be? And it could be because your expectations were too high. But if that's the case, then make the decision and do the right thing, because what I'm picking up here is, instead of stalling and doing the thing that you know you need to do, which I'm picking up here is leave, you have a choice in your challenges to leave gracefully and peacefully in a mature way. But I'm picking up that through this tower moment that's been going on is that you've been stagnant with it, and actually is adding to destruction, because even though I'm picking up, you know you need to go, it's like you don't want to go. You're finding reasons to stay, but then you're fighting because you're staying, if that makes sense. It's rather confusing. The universe here is suggesting, instead of focusing on trying desperately to build or destroy this relationship, the universe is encouraging you to stop looking at other people and to focus your attention inward on yourself. You need to gain the clarity to what you want out of any sort of relationship and what you expect of yourself, and that you need to gain clarity from what you want, what makes you happy and what's going to bring you happy, and how are you going to measure happiness. It's encouraging you to consider, you know, how you can bring more of this loving energy into your future relationships instead of this anger and I'm picking up the victim mentality, that in many cases I'm just saying what I'm picking up here, so, you know, don't shoot the messenger. For many Tauruses, this negativity is coming from you for whatever reason, because of some sort of unhappiness, and you just want to make another person suffer. However, In doing so, you're suffering. So the universe here with this reverse Ten of Cups here is encouraging you, Taurus, to let go of things that no longer bring you happiness or fulfillment. Let go of relationships that are not going to move forward. Let go and do so peacefully and do so lovingly. Cherish the time that you did have. You do not have to focus on negativity and that woe is you, wrong was done. The universe here is, I'm picking up here, is informing you that, uh, fulfillment and happiness, is available to you if you let it be. And in order to do that, Taurus, you have to align yourself with your highest good. And what you've been aligning yourself with is really your dark side. So with this, the Ten of Cups here, basically is showing there's a misalignment for many Tauruses in your personal values. You're not living by your own values. And you're not being true to yourself is what I'm picking up here in this relationship. Instead, what I'm picking up here is that you're allowing others to decide what you will or will not make you happy when you know you should determine that for yourself. And as a result, you're questioning right now whether you believe in what you're doing. And so the universe is saying it's good to question that, but you need to focus back to what truly makes you happy, even if it differs from what others expect. And keep in mind here, Taurus, that the reverse Ten of Cups here also suggests that you're neglecting your family while you're pursuing these sort of materialistic goals in this fantasy relationship. And you're neglecting your career. You're neglecting the ability to make money. You're throwing off a work balance is totally out of whack because you're spending less and less quality time with those that are important to you, and you're spending more and more of your time on being destructive. So put your energy onto what's working for you and let go of what's not working, and let it go with love and kindness and happiness and not with a bitter attitude. You will benefit from it. And you will find your relationships, that were suffering, that are important to you, will come back and you'll sense that contentment again. But it may just be with a different person who's better for you. And finally, in our outcomes card here, Taurus, we have the Ace of Cups, and we have it in reverse, please. Angel and Spirit guys, please help us understand for our Taurus why the Ace of Cups here is in their outcome energies for the month of December, please. Well, for many Tauruses, the reverse of Ace of Cups here is a sign that you're connecting, or you're trying to connect with your subconscious mind and trying to be attuned to your own intuition. And this has been a difficult task for many. I'm picking up that many Tauruses are exploring this part of yourself, and more on a private, individual case, because you're sort of in this discovery stage of how you could bring about more of your intuition and have it flow through your life to make right decisions and to listen to your intuition. With this card generally is about a self-love card. When it's in the upright position, the Ace of Cups is about love of all things. However, you're getting it in your reverse position in your outcome energies for the month of December of 2020. So this speaks about finding love of yourself, internal love, self-love. Before you start sending out, love to the divine world and repeating things out here, this is about going inside and finding your happy place and making peace with it. And doing it repeatedly in a positive way, because the more and more you do this, the more you can exist that flow of life through yourself and that positive energy, and to change all these things that are around you that have not been changing and that you're frustrated about. On the other side, for many, the Ace of Cups in reverse also could be a sign that some are repressing emotions, and they're not wanting to express yourself fully to your significant other or whoever you're involved with. And you're keeping those reasons to yourself, as what I'm picking up, and you want to keep them close to you. You're not wanting others to know what's going on inside. And this is frustrating because you're not going to get a lot of change if you're not expressing this in the right way. So, well, I'm also thinking it because in many cases you probably do it more out of ego. You're feeling embarrassed or afraid what might happen if you were to express these emotions. Um, you know, good energy goes, webs and flows. I guess that's how it goes. So you have to, remember laws of attraction. If you want positivity, you got to exhibit and demonstrate positivity. And I can't say it any clearer than that, Taurus. It is the power of positive thinking. Your thoughts have to change and to let go of negativity and negativity scenes and memories that are around you, and you need to change those. And you do that every day by meditating 5 or 10 minutes every morning. For those in a relationship, the reverse Ace of Cups here is going to show that you are withholding your emotions for fear of getting hurt. And this goes back to this destruction issue of why all this pain is coming in. This pain has to take place, and you're going to get hurt, but you will get over it, and you will survive. What's happening right now, I'm picking up, is that many Tauruses, you've been dragging this out, and it's being painful and making more damage versus just dealing with it and letting it go. Yeah. So, Taurus. Wow. The bottom line here is let it go. And let it go peacefully and with kindness. And you will do and fare so much better and so much quicker. The universe is saying to you, when is enough enough? How long do you want to drag this out, this pain and misery? Because you're controlling it. So, Tauruses, with that, on that note, again, thank you so much for watching this video. And again, for the sake of repeating, I would really appreciate your support for this channel. Based on the YouTube algorithms, it's highly required, based on what I call the big three, is you as the viewer to click on I like the video, click on subscribe to my channel, and click on the notification bell. All three algorithms are critical for YouTube to market channels to a wider audience, and I'm a new channel, and I would appreciate your support if you see fit. So I just had to put that out there and appreciate it. Thank you so much. Tauruses, please feel free to leave a comment if you felt any part of this reading was applicable to you. And again, if it didn't resonate with you or parts of it didn't resonate, it's totally okay. Just let it go. This means this reading wasn't meant for you at this time. So with that, I thank you so much, Tauruses, for your support and again, clicking on this video. And I wish you all a very wonderful, happy, and safe holiday season. And with the COVID-19 new guidelines coming back again, keep positive and keep healthy. And we'll see you in the new year of 2021. Thank you, Tauruses. Take care.